Hello, hello, hello again. Welcome back to the Babylon Night channel. I hope you've all had a nice Christmas. So, last year I did a stream where I put out a survey asking you all to give me your favourite Fate character ships. Hello, Dubious Lobo. And so, I did a little stream reviewing that survey. And this year I decided I was going to bring it back for another round, but run it a bit differently. Now, I did taken so long for me to actually get everything together and host the stream. I've had so many other projects and just life stuff happen in the meantime. Crimbin was fun, yeah. Another new stream that I'd like people to submit things for, which I will do next year. And so what I'm going to do, the way this works, is I'm going to be rating Fate ships that people have given me from 1 to 10. 5 is there because that is my baseline, I've decided. If I don't know who the characters are well enough, or if I just don't have like a strong feeling either way, everything just starts as a 5. Pausing writing Lou's bio to watch this, yeah. And so, and just as a personal bias thing, I'm heterosexual, so I'm probably not the best at assessing Yuri ships, and I'm not like a Fujoshi or anything, so I may not also be the best at assessing yaoi ships, but we'll see how this goes. This is all entirely based on personal vibes. Idiot self didn't realize you had the stream muted. Hello! There's a couple of new people here. So the way I've done this is going to be in 3 sections. We've got... I asked everybody to give me their favourite and explain why. And then optionally everybody could give me the second and third. Hello. Yeah, hello, Pridham. Okay, so starting off with a new one. This is Bedivere and Barghest. Which Tamlin was she? She's Tamlin first time for you, hello. I've also got little sound alerts you can use to say if you think the ship is good or bad. Yeah, she is Gawain. Gatto's brainchild ship. Does anybody have anything to contribute for this? It's like, she's bigger than him, isn't she? Have lines for Bedivere where she greatly admires him. Okay, see, I skipped most of that summer. I'm gonna keep that at 6 because like I skipped that. I skipped a lot of the dialogue for that summer. I'm sorry. So we're saying Twink and Muscle Girl, or like Twinkish and Muscle Girl. Betty's, yeah, not a twink, just way less stacked. It's like he's of all of them the least muscular, but I assume that like he's probably built under there. I can think of another gacha game where some people seem to think the sword fighter guy is a twink despite being really built. Mostly harm segue. Yeah, I know. I just personally didn't enjoy it because it's me and Summer. Insert that picture of Smithers in the elevator with like the bikini women, and that's how I feel whenever I play a Fate Go Summer event. I'm sorry. Okay. Little bit. Yeah, Summer 3. Give him his summer outfit. Like, let him get his shirt off with the boys. Moving on. This is interesting. Hijikata and Carmilla. I feel like this is a Castlevania joke somewhere. Because I see people say he looks like a Castlevania character and then she's a vampire. They're both kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm going to actually bump them to a 7 because I like them aesthetically together. Yeah, I'm the, for those of you who are new here, I'm the husbando collector. So I only roll for the men in this game, and I only play the game with men. Yeah, Betty's very soft-spoken. These two have my room and profile lines for each other. Okay. See, a lot of these are characters that, like, I have both of these, I think. I don't, of course, I've not read her My Room lines. Hijikata by his first name, which is a big thing in Japan. Oh, okay, so there's actually something to this I just haven't seen. Okay, I'll keep them at a 7 then. Oh, he's into BDSM, and well, screw it then. Putting this at a 9. Kinky couple. And they both have insane aura. Okay, we have our first returning ship of the stream. This was in the survey last year. Last year I gave them a 7. This is Yami Yumi or Emiku. You're saying she's a lesbian though. In this game, is she a lesbian? So I'm like, I think I need to shrink. I need to shrink my. I should have tested this with like every size. Most of them are the same. Yeah, these guys are like I gave them a 7 because like I'm not the best at assessing yaoi and how I feel about it because I'm not into it. But I know there's a whole thing about it's two men. They always fight each other. There's this rivalry, and then you have the red and blue. Yeah, you're saying she's bi at most because I know that Carmilla the vampire in the original novel is a lesbian, but I'm pretty sure that in Fate I've seen her talk about her husband because she's also Elizabeth Bathory, who did seem to love her husband. But yeah, these guys, I'm happy to keep them at a 7, maybe. Yeah, like this is like the one of the OG Fate Yaoi ships. I know. It's just like I see why people like them. Them up to an 8 this year because it's just so classic. At some point, a rivalry goes on enough long enough for it to become gay. Yeah. Look at you, Arcade, and see. I haven't read Tsukihime, so this is not returning. So this is Juniko and Kana. Okay. So I should have been reading the reasons for the other ships. So for Hijikata and Carmel, that person says rather than being cute together, and yeah, for Emi and Ku, loves a fated pair, can't leave each other alone, and like that it's a ship with different variants. Okay, so Kana and Juniko. I haven't played Fate Extra. They helped each other grow as people in CCC. So basically, Kana's character development carried over in later appearances. The care they have for each other is heartwarming and tooth-rottingly sweet. Tony Pleasure isn't happening. Yeah, look, I'm stupid and dumb, and I've been slacking on streaming lately. It sucks. Okay, this one interesting. I like that we kind of have the more plus size body type girl here. She's the yeah, I kind of like we have the sort of skinny pretty man and then the plus size girl who's this like not nerdy shut in. I think she's very adorable as a character and the relationship she has with this Indian hero. I say I haven't seen much of their dynamic in action, but I did like the stuff between them in which Lost Spell is it? Is it India Lost Spell 3? Yeah? Sibling energy more than lovers. Juniko's little brother. Okay. I'm gonna give them, I think I might give them a 6 just because I feel like I'd like to see more of what their dynamic is. I do think they're very cute whenever you see them together. Couldn't believe she's 20. Is it because she's small and a bit childlike? Her just living in her little gamer cave. But yeah. Okay. Interesting. So this is Arthur and Richard. Weird power dynamic. Too embarrassed to say more. Okay. So what I know here is that Indian Lost Belt is 4. Yes, of course, 3 is China. And I forget that one exists. Because, like, I'm sorry, but the early Lost Belts were kind of meh. But this is not the stream for that. So what I understand is that Richard is like a really big simp for Arthur. I haven't read Strange Fake because I don't know if it's available in English yet. And I haven't watched it because not enough of it is out, and I want to just sit down and watch a lot of it in one go. Yeah, this is a I think I'm putting them at a 5 just because I feel like right now I don't know enough about. Yeah, maybe gets a branch, makes Excalibur out of it. Hero worship. Yeah. Haven't listened to Prototype Fragments. Yeah, the number one glazer, but can he glaze that dick? Hmm. I'll put you guys back up to a 6. Just something about hardcore simping is funny here. This is a returning ship. Full bias, this is my favorite. Yeah, this this is mine. I didn't put this in. I didn't put anything in this. And I don't know, I explained everything about it last year, which is a huge fan by Martha because Mum told stories about King Arthur. Yeah. I don't know, what do I need to say? What do I need to say here? Uh I my AO3 is entirely dedicated to these two. I like them. I like them a lot, and I'm not ashamed of it. And yeah, a couple of people have put these in, so I'm just going to. Somebody here says they look good together. Seems to be the reason why somebody's given. This person, the first person to put it in, didn't give a reason. But yeah, um, well, yeah. What can I say? I really love them a lot. I explained it last year. It started as a, wouldn't it be funny if like she said yes to one of those marriage proposals? But then what if it was actually good? And also I just like simp for him a lot. I'm like, I'd bang Gilgamesh like any day of the week, any way he wants. Like, she, and something about that kind of toxic, she doesn't want him, he wants her, has a lot of potential for very, very good horniness and tension. And the way he can pick her up easily kind of really turned me on. I'm not gonna lie about that. Most chill Giltoria fan, yeah. Um people people's reaction to this is really, like, I think people overreact to this because they're either too attached to Gilgamesh being in a different ship, or they're too attached to Artoria just in general, or they're too attached to Artoria being with Shiro. Um, but nobody cares if you ship her with like a non-canon woman. But yeah, I love these two a lot. Okay, this is Bazette and being a badass because Bazette is a badass. Hmm. I mean, I feel like that one just comes naturally. I'm leaving that as a 10. This one? Okay. I think I'm going to maybe have to put this as a 5. I don't know. Right, this is the math student and the fanfic writer. So this is Moridan. Haven't fully played Audio Call 4, but they're really funny, especially in all the fan arts. Jolly ass gays. It's like, hmm. Now, Dante Alighieri would not like this, as evidenced by what happens to homosexual people in Paradise. Not Paradise Lost, it's the Divine Comedy. For some reason in my mind, I keep wanting to call them both the same thing, just because Paradise Lost is one I've actually read part of, and I have not read The Divine Comedy, despite them both being like very famous pieces of like literature. Wouldn't, but he does not have a say in Fujoshi matters. That is true. There is something. See, I'm just saying, like, there is something very funny. I'm gonna. I think I'm. I feel like I just want to go seven, just because there's something very funny about like yeah, let's have like a gay ship, but it's Dante Alighieri, and also just the boy failure LARPing as the Giga Chad. And then I think young Moriarty is cool. I like Moriarty. I'm interested to see what these guys are like. Yeah, yeah, because I have not played Audio Call 4. I'm just going entirely off the vibes, and I just think there's something funny about this. Dante is so much of a bottom that Moriarty comes off as a top. I don't fully understand what these things mean, but it is funny. It's just funny to imagine this. Um, Cameo and Writer's Nest book made them look twinky. I mean, they both look very twinky right now. Okay. This is another returning, of course. This is like the ship for Fate. And last year I gave them a 4. I'm still giving them a 4. I'm really sorry. Like, I understand why people like it. So classic the did it again for Apocrypha, yeah. I understand why people like it, but uh as look, as a 30-year-old woman, something about King Arthur and the 17-year-old boy just doesn't really do it for me. And I personally, kind of out of the three heroines, liked this one the least. I also, it's one of these where, like, I understand why some people are very attached to it as well. Like, I understand what they're going for with the story. Yeah, the most vanilla ship. Um, I last year I described it as Twilight for men. You know, it's not that I don't look. I understand the fantasy of your romantic partner being somebody or something more interesting than like just a regular person, and I think it is very sweet the way that she likes that he cooks food for her. Twilight for men is the Fast and the Furious. But yeah, I'm sorry. I for like just based entirely on personal taste, I can't give it more than a 4. I'm sorry. This is my taste being like lame and stupid. You can make fun of me for it all you want. This is one that I am not familiar with because I haven't read this. This is a Tsukihime one, isn't it? This is Ciel and Shiki. Ship's okay. It says here, attention to detail Nasu has to Shiki's trauma bond with Ciel and the emotional intelligence displayed by the couple, despite their extremely fucked up circumstances, is truly wonderful. And that Shiki is very passionately Ciel's fanboy. Can I read more of this? Yes, I can. Ciel's fanboy from the moment that she saves him, even when he gets angry at her. Okay, this is. I think I am going to have to go put this as a neutral 5, simply because I haven't read Tsukihime, and I think I need to read Tsukihime to fully understand this. It's fine, not your favorite. Okay, Tsukihime, yes. Yeah, this isn't me. I don't want to look like an idiot when I say it's Tsukihime and it turns out it's like Witch on the Holy Night or some other Nazi verse thing. But yeah, I can't give it more than a 5. I'm very sorry because I need to read the source material. This one, okay, so this is Iori and Takaru. So first of all, the development the characters had during Samurai Remnant and FGO, relationship grows naturally and they support each other in both games. So the tragedy surrounding them only makes me want them to stay together and have a happy ending. Yeah. the game absolutely pushed for it. This is one that I have a kind of. I think again I'm going to have to give it a 4, simply because, yeah, the dynamic is fun, but I kind of, when I went into Samurai Remnant, right, I personally, I'm a little bit done with servant and master fall in love and become a couple. I think Fate's done it quite a lot, and I'd like to see them try different. It's part of why I really like Zero and also Apocrypha, because they do showcase some different types of dynamic between the master and servant. Yeah, they're extremely close. They're very cute. I Hearing that FGO put them together as a couple kind of really did kill my interest in completing Samurai Remnant, which is a bit like, oh, you can see a strong bond will form between them, but that doesn't mean they have to, like, get together. So yeah, this just has the disappointment factor kind of attached to me. The yaoi and straight ships that I already had. Oh yeah, it was Yuri. Oh, Yui, sorry. Ugh. Yamato and also Yui at the same time. Yeah, see, I haven't finished the game. I'm sorry, like, the disappointment factor, I'm gonna have to give it a 4. Takaru is the only person who always considers to be attractive. I probably will be rolling for Takaru for New Year. Because I like his little persona outfit for his second ascension. I think that's quite cute. The event goes for more Yui, but yeah, the event's coming up. Needy cat that wants attention rather than a proper romantic. Yamato. Oh, Yamato Takaru. Need Yui. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's also hungry saber falls in love with sword fight boy. Where have I seen that before? And I gave that a 4, so I'm giving this one a 4 as well, because it's that again, but slightly different. Okay, let's see. Is Kadoguda returning? I'm just having a very quick check to see if it is. I thought it could be. No. Kadoguda is. I can't see it on my list. But this one. This one I'm giving this a 9. This I really like. Um don't give Caddox with you want. Caddock is such a lovely character. I really like the sort of dynamic he's developing with Gouda. I like the arc that Caddock is going on. I really like seeing how active of a character he is in Traum. You can offer to yes. I've done that. That's in Lost Belt 7. And I know the dialogue is different between the male and female. I'm not sure what it is for the male. Uh and it does specify Yudiko here, but I want the emo boyfriend. Uh also part of why I will cry so hard if he's dead in the finale. I'm not even lying. I believe this Anastasia will come back and haunt his ass. See, here's the thing. It's like Anastasia comes back as a servant and she's all over the master. And it's like, oh, okay. So that means she doesn't want the emo boyfriend? Well, that means I can have the emo boyfriend. So screw you, game mandated waifu number 310. I'm gonna go bang your boyfriend now. Loves depicting Anastasia clinging to him, yeah. Okay, this is a new one. This is interesting. This is a new one, and it's in here twice. This is Jinkei and Shi Huang Di, or is it Kui Shi Huang? I don't know how to pronounce this one's name. This one would be toxic as hell. See, this is interesting because this is the person who is meant to destroy the other. And yeah, it's like toxic relationship. I literally never considered it until till two people put this in here. I'm not sure if something has like come into the game that's made more people interested in this. I think it's an interesting one. I'm going to give it a 6. Maybe. I do sort of like the idea of the one who was meant to destroy the other falling in love with them, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know, do these two really have a dynamic where that would like work and be good, or would it just be like a nice source of like funny, like odd toxic drama? I'm giving it a 6, so it gets 1 point above 5 just because it's a concept I enjoy. Okay, this one. But yeah, the reason I'm given for that last one is drastically underappreciated because of how little dedicated screen time they actually got. But you gotta put a good word in because the scraps were given. And the more you think about it, the more delicious it gets. Like, yeah, interesting. And this one is right, Asclepius and Yanking. Their interactions during Arctic summer were like two parents bonding. Pio Sensei trusts Shinkun to do favors for him, which is rare since he has a massive ego to seek help from other people. Yeah, they feels like saying yanking feels like a male wife. But yeah, they're in Arctic summer world together. I understand what the person is saying, but I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna give this a 5 because I can see where they're coming from, but I'm not sure if they had like couple relationship energy. Okay, this is a returning ship. This is another classic. Last time I gave this a 3. But I think I will actually bump it up to a 4. My kind of dislike of this one is simply because I'm a bit like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Kirei has the hots for Kiritsugu. I feel like Gil probably would fuck Kirei. I see people say they seem to have quite a bit of sexual tension in Zero. Um, it's Gil. I think Gil fucks. I think Gil fucks like anybody he deems worthy. Um, yeah, love how the much sexual tension they have in Zero. Love how the dynamic shifts with Gil being the dominant one in Zero, while Kirei's the dominant one in Stay Night. And it's like, yeah, just something about Kirei being the guy who only likes suffering. I'm like, I don't know if that's actually going to be too fulfilling for Gil. Gil Fox, like it's Gilgamesh Fox, like that's part of his legend, bro. Like his body count is at least half of his whole civilization. But I'm gonna keep it as a 4 because it's one of these that it's a classic. Um, so did Enkidu. Yeah, like Enkidu put Shamhat in Fate. Like, yeah, Gil and Enkidu have both banged chicks, and they've both banged each other. But yeah, I'm bumping that up to a 4 from last time. This is another returning ship. And last time I gave this one. But these two, okay, so always loved his lively personality contrasted with her reserved one. And so with this one, from what I've seen, I think they are quite cute. Yes, from what I've seen, I think they're quite cute together. I haven't seen much of Strange Fake though. So that's the thing, I can't like give them the best assessment, I don't think. So yeah, I feel like I can't actually give them the best assessment, but I will probably give them a I'll give them a little 6 because I've actually seen a little bit of them interacting. Unlike last year, when yes, last year I gave them a 5. There they are on my list. I have just found it in the right place now. Yes, there we go. So yeah, I will bump them up to a 6 because I've seen them interact, and they do seem like a nice pair. Okay, there we go. So next is Ed Edney. That's what this is known as. This is Nightingale and Edmond Dantes. And I think I know who put this in. I've come again to promote Edney and how people gotta stop whining about Dantes calling Nightingale Mercedes. Those with eyes to know he doesn't see her as a substitute Mercedes. The truth is he is the Mercedes in the relationship. It is an inverse of his own relationship with the real Mercedes. Those who have read Count of Monte Cristo will understand what I mean and point out the scene where Mercedes confronts Dantes. I haven't actually read that far into the novel yet, but I am reading the novel. I understand where this one comes from. This one I'm actually what did I give it last year? This last year I gave it an 8. You know what? I'm giving it a 10. Because Gigi's art of this is beautiful. Dante's, yeah, he does keep calling her Mercedes. Became before the American Singularity. Technically she made her debut there. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is an odd one. That I understand where it comes from because it's in her event. Yeah, oldie but which ships did you miss? A few. The whole thing will be on YouTube event. Yeah, Gigi mentioned. She's great. Her art of them is absolutely beautiful, and it makes me like them a lot more. But yeah, they're very sweet. This is not a returning ship. So this is Oberon and Joan of Arc. But edgy goth Joan of Arc. So this is angry, edgy beings with conflicting emotional feelings, finding solace in one another is cute. Um, agreed. Um, this one is random, but like that person's reasoning, I like that. What's the lore behind this? So yeah, whoever put this in said it's angry, edgy beings with conflicting emotional feelings finding solace in one another. It's cute. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of like that. Also, something about like imagine Jolta turns up and then you see her boyfriend and it's the like this pretty butterfly man. That's a really funny image. Okay, Ishtar and Astrea. 7? Maybe I keep that at a 7. This is classic rival, toxic Yuri with rivals. Except they're naked now. Yeah, it's Rin and Luvia. Makes more sense when you take the... Yeah, it makes more sense when you think about, like, the Dragonfly Spooky Oberon. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think this is entirely Rin and Luvia. I'm putting it as a 7 just because I know, like, it's toxic rivals to lovers Yuri, I guess. And I'm pretty sure that feels like a classic. And also just the way they like to wrestle with each other. Um, just girls wrestling. Nothing straighter than that. Am I right, ladies? Okay, Shiro and Rin. It is returning. And what did I put them at last year? Last year I gave them an 8, and I will continue to give them an 8. Seen UBW, not a fan of this one. Like I said, as somebody who's read the whole, like, novel, I liked Eclipse of Friend mostly because Rin is so whiny. They got a really good, yeah, in the Eclipse of Hollow Ataraxia, they had like the best um boom boom. But yeah, this is one of these, like, I don't know if they would be the kind of couple I could see actually staying together forever. But I know it's like, canonically she was like Emiya's partner. Hate them as a pair. Rin's best friend, Sabra's girlfriend, so much better, even has more chemistry with Sakura. I think Sakura is the best one. Um I don't know. Something about these two together, like, was just nice for me, in my personal opinion. I kind of like that she's got like the Sundere girl who's clearly likes the guy, and I think Shiro's like a very like adorable towards her and Sakura. I guess all the girls you like. Better than the Stay Night scene. That's yes. The Rin has the worst H scene in Fate Stay Night. Uh that is my opinion as a woman. But they make up for that in Hollow Ataraxia. I feel like that's probably why they gave her the best. Yeah, but yeah, I know. I like these two. I like the relationship between them, but it's only my second favorite of the Stay Night heroines relationship. Little chemistry with Shiro, side character in her own route, and instead it's the Shiro Archer route. Yeah, it is pretty much the Shiro Archer route. You ship Babylon and Astolfo. That is the best ship. Insert a picture of me and my body pillow here. But yeah, Babylon and Daon. Although I don't know, maybe I can, maybe for the sake of it, I'm a bump it down because I prefer it when he bangs her sister. I think he should date the sister instead. This is not a returning ship. This is Gouda and Castigill. Like the okay, sorry. The reasons given for liking Ishtar and Estrella is they don't interact often, but the chemistry is high. They'd probably be an awesome couple because of their vessels. Rin and Shiro is sincerity and true love accompanied with a wish of growth and for a greater future, making oneself become truly human. And the fan submitted reasoning for this one is they had great chemistry in Babylon chapter, the anime, the game, and the manga. 0. Rin's access towards Shiro is kind of gross in UBW. Alright, gamers, what ships have we been? What was your ship, Mad Melody? So this is one of those interesting ones where it's a Gouda ship that probably isn't a Yume ship. Like, I think a lot of Gouda ships are just Yume ships for people who don't want to make a self-insert. Yes, that one has been rated. I gave it a 7, I think. But yes. You say taking 0... What do you mean by Rin's actions towards Shiro is kind of gross? But yeah, this one... This... You throw Lancelot and Raiko. Because he likes MILFs. This one, Gil and the Goudas. Whichever Gouda. This just says Gouda. This is what I'm trying to think. It's like, this isn't a Yume ship. I would absolutely fuck Casgil. It's a little bit of like, I don't know if Castigil is... I don't know if Gouda is the type of person that Gilgamesh would actually, like, want as a romantic or sexual partner. Even if he does, like... I do like the sort of chemistry that he has for them and the appreciation for what they do and the support he has for them. I mean, Gil and yeah, friend likes having their own. Yeah, I dig this one. Disregard Shiro's feelings on Tiger being held hostage, saying she should let her die to keep Saber. Like, oof. Purple Eternal Arms Master have a personality trait revolving around being a parent. Yeah. If Lancelot gets with Raiko, that means like Kintoki and Mash get to be siblings. This way of having his family member die and just says that, oof, yeah. That's the thing though, I think part of Rin's problem is that because she is very much from the world of mages, where, you know, they are not ethical people, and whereas Shiro is from, like, the world of normal people, that kind of the juxtaposition of how they see the world is something that I do find interesting to see whenever it pops up. But yeah, I'm gonna put this as an 8 simply because I feel like this wouldn't work sexually or romantically just because of what Gil's tastes are. Yeah, Olga's dad, exactly. Zero, not the same timeline as Stay Night. Yeah. Do. Okay. So that's my stance on that one. This as a Yume ship is like 10/10. There are some lovely dojins of Gil and Yudiko that I go back to. And then this one absolutely is a returning ship, and I've got to give like the world's oldest yaoi a 10. You know, it's legacy. The it's it's interesting because Gilgamesh stories go all the way back to like the Sumerian period, but Enkidu doesn't really turn up until the Epic of Gilgamesh, if that makes sense. Like, which was like a later compiling of multiple Gilgamesh stories and turning them into this sort of more coherent narrative. So it's a very so there is an interesting kind of debate with Gilgamesh historians, which is, where did Enkidu come from? Like, they go from being a named servant of Gilgamesh in one story, and then in the epic, there's this whole, like, Enkidu is the wild man who was sent to destroy Gilgamesh sort of thing, like, gets turned into, like, a proper character. So it's like, yeah, when Gilgamesh is crying over your death, there's something going on. Damn. Yeah. It's a very like, how can you not, like I said, I'm not into BL, but this is one where I'm like, I like I like that I like that their relationship is still like reference, and you can definitely feel it throughout this game and the media that they're in. History said they were friends. History lying to our faces. Exactly. It's like, okay. This is the one that it's also a returning ship, so I'm going to keep it in there. This is the one that yet again got missed out of my PowerPoint for some reason. I've had to go and put it back in because the image I use, yeah, Gil and Enkidu were the original roommates. Yeah, this is yours. I think you definitely put this one in. Two people have put this one in. This got 7 last year. 10/10 peak pair. I'm actually going to give them an 8 this year. The reason why I'm giving them the reason why I'm giving them an 8 is I love seeing the passion and enthusiasm that the plank of wood and a bit less of a plank of wood. Simply because I want to see them interact more. Like, this is one that where I want to see these two interacting again more. I feel like I haven't read the Apocrypha manga. I would maybe like to. FGO ruined them. Yeah, that is one thing that I find weird in FGO, because FGO has so much room to expand on that. They how Apocrypha ended, yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, literally just I completely understand this. Just I'm gonna read the reason now. Where's I given? I found them in a hard time in my life years ago. Especially met them through uh the anime, not the books and the manga. Anime sells them as a couple so much harder than the books or the manga. Kind of couple that might seem too simple at first, but both are fairly complex individually. They're cute. You like when the human of the pair helps the inhuman become more human, accustomed to reality. Ruler cared for Sieg more than he realized. Yeah. Sieg is crime hill. but FJ wants to ignore Seijin for the sake of Yumi. Exactly, that's a really strange one. There are people who are so fussy about keeping the woman with the canon male love interest in Fate, but not when it comes to Jean for some reason. It's like, yeah, see, well, that is a ship. It's a married couple relationship seeking crime. But yeah, so that is part one. And so the way I was doing these is that part one, I asked people to give me a reason, and then part two and part three, I did not ask for like a reason. So I'm just going to very quick fire go through them as quick as I can. These guys also appeared in part two. Speaking married, Guda and Morgan are oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, this one gets a little bit higher than last year. Let's go into the second part. This is so I'm not going to read any reasons for this because I didn't ask for them. So this is Izzo and I'm gonna have to edit this video quite a bit. So yeah, this is Izzo and Mori. This is somebody who says, doesn't matter which way around. I didn't know that people cared about which way around names go. If it was Sakamoto, I could see something there. Yeah. I know some people ship him with Ryoma, which I didn't understand until we got that second Ryoma or Guda Guda. But yeah, this one, I can kind of see, I can somewhat see why. They both have a bit of a, if I say like a bit of a thing about them, you've got the big burly like crazy angry guy, and then you've got like the little barky puppy dog type guys. Like I love both of them, but I don't know. I don't know if I see it, but I can see why somebody likes it. So they get a 5. This one, I'm giving you an 8 because I think they are a very nice like married couple. Both are dogs. One is just bigger than the other. Good. Look, it's the goth girl and her heavy metal boyfriend. Which is peak. Yeah, they are married. I love the sort of dynamics they have. Traum was cool. At some point I'm considering doing like a goth girl FGO tier list based entirely on how much I want their outfits. And holy fuck, I absolutely wish I could get a dress like Crimehild's. Complete with the little hat thing that she has as well, because I absolutely love little hats. Traum in the summer event. Yeah. Incredible in their own book too. I haven't read I don't know how to say the Nibelungen. I've not read any old Germanic literature. Is Sieg technically cheating on Kriemhild and Apocrypha since he and Siegfried become one being? Well, I know people typically like to put Sieg as their adopted kid. I do absolutely love. Yeah. Anybody putting Sieg as the adopted kid for these two, that is peak. I need more of it. Please continue doing it. Only on Crime's End because she wants to be villainess. So yeah, you know what? Screw it. 10 peak epic comic, not comic, sorry, epic poem. Epic poem. Married couple goals there. Blech. My brain is mushy because it's late January. Crime can't shake off her son. Yeah. Okay, this is Hector and Mandricardo. So this is another one where it's like the fanboy and the guy that he simps over. Interesting. I don't know, for some reason I just can't see. I don't know, it's anxious, it's kind of anxious guy, kind of chill guy. I'd say maybe 5. I could see that going either way. This is, I think have I had this before? Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. You can't unable to see Mandricardo as anything other than Hector's adopted son. Yeah, this is one of the extra ships. I feel like I might just. I feel like from what I've seen of Fate Extra, because I've not played it, but from what I've seen from like extra characters in other Fate media, it seems like the relationships that the Hakanons have with the servants are quite significant. Tammy deserves happiness, Tammy deserves so much better. But I've not actually, I've not played enough extra to know. Seime's a bitch for ratting her out. But I will, based on my best assessment from what I've seen of them, give that a 7. This one came back for it in a round 2, so that's a 10, of course, as we already discussed. These guys, you know what, I'm going to just sort of skip the ranking for ones that I've already done. These guys came back again, and they are still a 4. This is a Lilith Yume ship. This is me and Lilith. Self-shipping gets a default 10. Works till you realise Tamo's whole character and legend about being the worst wife ever. Okay. This is an interesting one that I'm not sure if I'm the best equipped to understand. Because this is, again, I gave them a 7. And I have no idea. Yeah, this is a 3-way. I don't have context for, like, this is essentially, like, these 3 together. It's Dante, Moriarty, and Jontron. Jontron. You know what, Lilith is the coolest female mythological entity in your opinion. Instant 0 for Jontron. Okay. So I was just thinking I gave them a 7. I guess this is like the 7 but with an 8. But it's like them as a 3, so it's not just, so it's like, You know what, I'll actually keep it as, I don't know, a 7. Simply because I feel like it might just be a funny 3-person situationship. And I only know who one of these characters is. I'm kind of just imagining the weird sitcom scenario of Dante Alighieri, James Moriarty, and Joan of Arc, but she's an angel and also a streamer for some reason. Yeah, 2 Men and the Baby. So yeah, this is sitcom scenario. This is a returning. This is one that I absolutely give the 10 to every time. This is the normal Metatron of girl failure stream e-girl Metatron. I didn't know there was a difference. So yeah, this is the one that I like the most out of the 3 like Shiro routes in Stay Night. I think the Heaven's Feel story is very impactful. But it's also, like, I think these two, I feel like these two belong together. Like, gotta love Sakura, exactly. Like, yeah, these are the two where I think they are, like, his whole motivation in that route is saving the girl that he really loves. And he's, like, the only guy for her. And yeah, what else is there to say? I really like them. This is an interesting one. This is Tristan and girl Tristan. It's essentially Tristan fucking himself. Giving up his dream and ideals. Yeah, exactly. Big deal. Yeah, very sweet. But yeah, being the hero of justice means, being the hero of justice for his girl. So, Tristan and Tristan. Oh, this is goth. This is... Get her out of here. She ain't his old. I was gonna say this is goth girl emo boy, isn't it? In Fae Summer, Tristan trained his counterpart. Tristan's already taking ace, but where is his old in Fate? Would Tristan not bang himself? He's a shoe addict. She's got, like, I say she's got horrible shoes. Uh, her shoes freak me out because ankle pain. I also just remember that video of the cosplayer falling off stage in the heels, and it's just like, wow, I knew that was going to happen eventually, and it's just like, ugh. Gawain Wood, shoes that could kill. Yeah, they're gonna kill the wearer. Gawain Wood, you don't think Tristan's that self-absorbed. Have no lines. You see, Tristan and Melt more. Should hmm. I'll keep it at an 8 just because, I don't know, I think they look cool. This is entirely vibes based. Okinobu coming back. Let's see. What did I give them? I gave them a 7 last time. I'll give them a 7 again. I think they're very funny. Yeah. Hype ships and aura. Exactly. It's like, is this ship hype? Does this ship have aura? Is me half of the... You and Nobu is a better ship. Yes. Okay, this is another returning ship. Kado Anna. What did I give them last time? Last time I gave them the 10, and they're getting the 10 again this time. I loved them together. I love what they had. The I'm just trying to think what else to say about this. Like, I think it's a shame that when she summoned, she kind of doesn't remember him, and he still clearly has those lingering feelings for her. Like, very, very sad boy, very tragic girl. They should have been together. Wanted to throw a ball, but only if Kadok attended. Yeah, it's like, FGO did my boy dirty. I love him. Love his dynamic with her. Okay, this is this returning? I think it absolutely is. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'll just take it off there. This is Rin and Emir. And I feel like I might give them I'll give them what I gave her and Shiro. Yeah, I do. You know what? I gave them the 8. I'll give them the 9 because I do like this one more. I do feel like Rin with the grouchier, older Shiro is nicer. Worse because now it's illegal. I mean, nobody says that about Shiro and Artoria, despite the bigger age gap. Um, I'm gonna say something that only one person in chat is gonna understand. That's weird. But yeah, I like these two. She's kind of his canon girlfriend as well, because that's how you find out who he is, because 2 of that pendant exists. I don't know, Shiki had the problem with Arkansas. I mean, one of them's a vampire, and the that's the problem with vampires. Shiro Saber is illegal, yet still your favorite because of how well it's written. I'm sorry I didn't give them a very high rating. Sales like 20 plus, arcs over 800. Yeah. But yeah, 9. Good one. This one is again returning. I gave Goth Girl Yuri a 7. I'll give it a 7 again. They're both like the edgy versions of the character. Kind of classic with Shinjuku, yeah. This one, Now, I know this one comes from a summer event, the upcoming summer that they're both in. Hate Sex the Ship, exactly. This is not returning, I'll take that off. But yes, this is... Yeah, the context is probably the next summer, and I don't know what the context is, because it's such a random one. So, sadly, that's going to have to be a 5. This is another... This is interesting. I feel like I want to give them a 7. Because it's like, again, it's... The whole thing going on with Salieri for Fate Go is something I really like seeing. the did he or did he not kill Mozart? He probably didn't. First of all, it's himbo coded. Virgin pure lights because he's no idea what sex is or how it worked. Hate sex the ship again. But yeah, this again, more hate sex. But in real life, they probably didn't actually hate each other, so maybe they were besties. Them having this really weird, toxic, are they, aren't they a couple thing would probably be very cool to see as like a dynamic. Yes, I'm going to. This is coup and losing. um, that's getting a 4 because it's canon, but I don't like it. My man deserves a W. Okay, this one. I'm sorry, I'm giving this like a 2 out of personal spite. I kind of Castoria fans talked about this like it's canon, and then when I said on my own personal Twitter that, I really hope that in Lost Belt 6 we don't have this whole thing where Castoria falls in love with the main character, because I'm tired of Master falls in love with Servant, but I'm also sick of Fate Go forcing you to fall in love with every woman that you meet. And Castoria fanboys got really mad at me on 2 separate occasions for me not liking the idea of her getting with Gouda and me just not liking her character. So yeah, out of personal spite, I'm sorry, but this only gets a 2. Um, and the way people react if you ship her with anybody other than the Goudas is another thing. Had to go recreate. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I don't think they actually got together as a couple in that Lost Belt. Like, I was waiting for the moment where she says that she loves Gouda, and I just lose all interest in the story. There we are. Sorry about that. Like, that, yeah, that. Bleh. But yeah, this one gets a 2. I'm sorry. I've had personal negative interactions over this. I'm not giving it anything higher. This one also stays as a 2 because it's the same ship. Yeah. Jean and Sieg were also put again into the part 2 as someone's second favourite. And yet again somebody put the Peak as their second. Okay, so those were people's second favourites, and here's third favourites. So this is back. Did we give it a 6? I'm really surprised to see this one twice. Like, I thought this was like one person's crack ship. That's 2 different people putting that in, by the way. So I'm like, maybe 2 people like this, not a ship. This is Gil kidnapping Saber and forcing her to be his wife. That's still a ship, god damn it. This one is Takahiro Godai and Ilse von Einsborn. Uh, who drew this again? Um, these characters are not in Fate, but I think I've got to give that a 10. Shipping your OCs is like tantamount to Yume shipping, right? And the next viewer submission stream that I'm going to do will be a tier list of your Fate OCs. So I will open up the form after this stream is done, and everyone give me your Fate OCs, and I'm going to rank them all in a tier list when I have enough submissions. Yeah. I saw this and I was like, what is this? Oh, and this is the Archie Comics parody, isn't it? I just noticed what they're doing in the picture. That's really cute. This is an interesting one. This is Jules de Ray and Ryunosuke. I have to stop to remember his name a few times. Want to make a Fate OC but can't draw. You can say it's done to death. Look, the other gacha game fandom I'm in loves anything that involves like a man. If there's any meme that involves a man and a woman kissing, the lads fandom will run it into the ground. But we can't get enough of it. So I've seen that parody 100 times. But yeah, this is Fate Zero Team Caster. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. The abridged keeps coming to mind. I only see one artist tackle the ship. Yeah, this is this is I think Ryunosuke is too old and too not Joan of Arc for Gilles tastes. I like these two in Zero. Like I really just love how they don't give a shit about the Grail War. They just want to kill people. And I love the horror element that they bring to Zero. But as a ship, I don't know, I feel I'm giving that a 4 just because aspects of that make me uncomfortable. Yeah, he's into little boys, Jean and Saber. He all about the murder baby. Yeah, he's a little bit diddy, as the kids say. Historically he was like the first. Is he actually the first recorded serial killer as well? Supposedly. I know there's historical debate about how much of what he did was real. But I don't know enough about that to say much about it. But yeah, this is one. This is returning. Where did I put this one? I gave that one a. I gave it a 5. I think I'll give it a 5 again. This is one where I kind of don't like that I was suddenly subjected to a woman molesting a barely conscious woman when I read the novel. Hey Lyra, what have I walked in on? I'm ranking Fate ships. But these are two where I feel like I could see them being a couple if they met in different circumstances. Rin has such a like obvious crush on Saber. Like this woman just like attacked me, and I'm impressed by how beautiful she is. I get yeah, having this night lady staring you down about to kill you, and you're feeling the horniest you've ever been. Yeah. Um. I just wish that Fate Stay Night didn't depict bisexual women as being normal towards men and creepy towards women. Rin would crush on Saber. Saber would never crush on Rin. You'd thank Saber for stabbing you. You think maybe we can bump it out to like a. Think it might be too much of a one-sided yearning thing. Rin not really being the kind of woman Saber would like. I'm pretty sure it is canon that Saber is into guys and girls. Don't think Saber would like anyone. This is another one. It's returning. I'm not sure. What did I give? I don't know. I gave it a 7. I'm going to continue to give it a 7. That's kind of what I've been giving all of the extra ones, just because of what I've seen. You're saying, like, Saber like Merlin according to Gardner Babylon. Couldn't be into Guinevere because she's straight and Guinevere was her literal wife. I don't know. Didn't she seem to enjoy being touched by a woman? I did have to leave the room for the fucking... Oh god, reading Stay Night uncensored as a straight woman is not a good idea. Yeah, this one, as I've said before, I feel like all of the extra ships are relevant to the plot and stuff. And yeah, Hakaniro was in there twice and it didn't specify which. So I used a picture of both. This is somebody saying Lilith's boot and my face. And I've got to appreciate somebody who knows exactly what they want. And yeah, I know that she didn't see Guinevere as anything other than like a friend. Last Encore did so much heavy lifting for Tamanera. Yeah. So it's like, I gotta respect being in your face about it. Exactly. Yeah, that takes balls. I'm just like Babylon and Lilith is canon, they bond over hating Bash. But it's a threesome. It's like me and Lilith, but like we both shag Masha's dad. Okay, we're back to this one. This is yeah. So these are the third favorite ships. So this is Medusa and Shiro. I don't know. What does Mash has three dads? Well, that's perfect because I've got three holes. Shiro and Ryder rocks in Hollow Ataraxia. Maybe I should get my resident Medusa expert here. Should I? What does my resident Medusa expert think of Shiro and Medusa? I'm gonna go get him. Hey you. No, I need you to come on stream. They're glazing Medusa and Shiro in Hollow Ataraxia. He says he's into it except where it's him instead of Shiro. Would. Hmm. Hmm. Where do we put this? Where do we put this? That's what I'm trying to think. Yeah, Medusa expert. How shall we what I'm trying to think what ranking I should give that. Um maybe maybe 6 because I know people's like the down for the Medusi, but like she has better options. That is true. I mean, Medusi's so powerful it just broke the PowerPoint. Um, shall we go 5 because it's like it's in the middle. She's got those better options she could bang. She kind of wants to bang Shiro. I feel like she wants to fuck Shiro because Sakura's fucking Shiro. So okay, here is Arthur and male Arthur and girl Merlin. So this is Arthur and the Pussy Witch. Uh, hmm. I don't. I can't play Fate Arcade, so I don't really know what she's like. Nor have I watched. Nor have I listened to proto fragments. People saying Arthur run or no. Um. Here's the thing, right? It, the only person that actually cared about Arthur in the audio dramas. Yeah. Hi, Valiant. We're ranking ships. So yeah, this is Arthur and Lady Avalon. Um, right. If Merlin gives like woman dicks, does she give men like boobs or something? Uh, what? 7 because weird freak sex. You just get Artoriat V Wizards. Don't want to think about that. See, um, somebody should put Merlin and Merlin, like Lady Avalon and Merlin, into one of these because I think they like each other and they do a lot of weird stuff. Uh, I'm giving that a 7 because weirdo freak sex. This is interesting. This is Ozzy and Gil. I want both of them to fuck me. In both ends. Like and that's why I don't want them to bang each other. Thing is, these two, I can see why people ship these two. They are, they are the same guy, and they're both the kind of guy who would, yeah, skedaddle skedoodle, you've lost your noodle. When it gets worse, when you consider Merlin and Morgan had an affair, so she would just move on to the brother after that didn't work out. Also got Zufu to 111. Merlin has no idea who Lady Avalon is. Both her facade apparently. Hmm. Okay. So yeah, this is like I think Ozzy and Gil would fuck themselves if they could. Uh, and so it's like I can see why they'd probably consider fucking each other. But I don't know if they'd. I feel like the Melons can see each other. It's like shooting in a buki. Merlin doesn't have a. See, I assume that in FGO, Lady Avalon is just Merlin, but he's turned himself into a woman because that's totally within his power to do. But yeah, Ozzy and Gil as a ship. I feel like they'd be friends with benefits at most. These two, I don't know enough. There's Tama and Nero. Blah blah blah. I mean, I know they both want to marry both versions of the Hakuno. Nero likes beautiful women. Tama wants to be the perfect housewife. It's like, don't they have like a rival thing going on as well? I haven't played It's like I haven't played Extra, so I'm not entirely sure what the dynamic between these two is. Both powerful, both kind of evil. I say both kind of evil. It doesn't Fate say that Nero isn't evil. I don't know enough Roman history anymore to know about Nero. Like historical Nero. Get Extra remake next year, so I could play the Extra remake. Yeah, wants to be the only wife. Nero wants to lead a harem, so they are not equals. I mean, she's a Roman. I'm pretty sure harems were like the thing. Nero isn't evil, but Nero, yeah, that's the thing. Is when I try to look at historical Nero, it's like I know the whole playing the fiddle while Rome burned is a myth, but it's one of those myths that's kind of like, wasn't he such a shitty guy that that's why people said things like that about him? Uh, hmm. I'm gonna say five because I can definitely see them liking each other, but I know they probably wouldn't work out long term if it's like only wife versus harem sort of scenario. Um, Gouda and Merlin. I'm not. I think this is a Gouda ship being used in place of a Yume ship, maybe. So I'm not gonna be too harsh. I'm not gonna give it a two. Um, yeah, a Yume ship is like a self-insert ship where you ship the fictional character with yourself or an OC, and I think a lot of Gouda ships are that. And so I feel like this is. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that matter. This is Peak is back. Obe Gouda is interesting, but I think I'm again going to give it a 5. Because I don't know if I see Oberon's interest in Gouda as romantic. The twinks are back. So yeah, somebody said Dante and Mori, and then Dante and Jontron. And I'm actually giving that the 5 because I don't know anything about. I don't know. I haven't encountered either of these characters, and I don't know anything about Jontron to actually assess what I think it would be like. Yeah, I'm gonna roll for Dante as well. It's like I need him. Rama and Sita. Let them be together. Let the man have his wife. God damn it. Something. Dante sees Metatron as Beatrice. Doomship. Yeah. Well, this is me just letting people submit them to me. And a lot of people just have crack ships, which I really like. This is an interesting one as well. This is a crack ship. This is returning. What did I give that? I made a note because I was surprised to see this again. Last year I gave this a 5 on the grounds that I hadn't, like, seen anything of her. I know there's one person who's very into it. The Rama's illustrator originally, the Sita was just Rama in drag and thought he was a freak and a pervert. Curious about the vision. Yeah, this is interesting. I feel like I might give that a. I feel like I am just going to give it a 6, just because I'm like, okay, interested to see where that goes. And this again. Um, Rin and Ku. Now that's interesting. Some people really like this, and I know why. Uh, some of those interactions that he has with her, like, oh, maybe if you were older, sort of thing. Um, there's a lot of nice art of this as well. You dig, not gonna, you dig this one, yeah. Um, I could imagine an alternate timeline where she loses Emir and takes Ku instead. I feel like, you know what, maybe I do. You don't? I think they'd be funny. I think they'd have a funny dynamic. See, I wanted that image of him with, like, the smug face, that like smug bastard smile when he's like looking back and she's there. But I couldn't actually get the image in a format that would go in my PowerPoint. But yeah, I'm gonna give that a 7 because I think that could be funny. I think there's yeah, they have interesting interactions in canon, especially in the animes, and then I don't know, it's red and blue again. But yeah, um, I think that's all the ships. That is all the ships I've got today. I'm going to publish all the results as a spreadsheet that people can see. But now it's time to look at some data. So I did a little. Now, please bear in mind that I have a bit of maths dyslexia. So I'm sorry if you read through the form and something is a bit wrong or counted wrong. But I put together the ship categories as a bar chart to see what was the most popular this year. Seems that het ships were the most popular of everything submitted, which is one of those that always seems unusual to me, because I always was under the assumption that Yaoi is the most popular, but this is one of these which just, yeah, Kiara and Hans needs to be spread more. I mean, I could do a ship survey next year. Forgot to send it over to the boys in the server, yeah. But yeah, that's one. The other info I looked at was, so the most shipped couples were these three. We got 5. Gil Kiddu appeared 5 times, Giltoria appeared 4 times, and Moriarty, like Moridan and Shiro Rin, both appeared 3 times. This is overall in the survey. Interesting to see Gilgamesh in first and second there. And then I also did a little bar chart for who is the most shipped. I'm all the way up here. Hello. Why am I jumping up here? I don't know why I'm jumping up here. I've decided to fly now. I cast levitate. People really want to make us suffer with that Gil ship. How do you know she's going to suffer? What if she'd be very happy as his wife? But yeah, so the based on this, as you can see, the bicycle award for the most shipped is being split between Gilgamesh and Shiro this year, who both got shipped with four different characters each. Ku, Rin, Artoria also got 3 each, and then quite a lot of people got 2. The men are the town. Yeah, people with Shiro, it's understandable because he's got like 3 canon ships he can have, and then this year he also got shipped with Medusa, and then Gilgamesh. People look, Gilgamesh would bang a lot of people, so you know, people really want him to be with his boyfriend or the woman who he wants to be his wife. Yeah, exactly. Everybody is getting a ride. But thank you for tuning in today. This is my last stream of 2025. I will be back next year with more of what I normally do. Hello there. Welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. While you're here, maybe you could leave a like, subscribe, or maybe you could even follow me on Twitch so that you could catch my content as I go live. Thank you for watching, and please have a great day.